let's get some big thighs going, baby, so you don't have to wear them fishnets anymore.
I grew up reading Muscular Development.
Listen,
they told it to you
40s.
straight. Greg Valentino told it to you straight. Remember that dude?
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
huge
yeah.
arms?
Well, he what the inject synthol in his arms, make them like balloons. Yeah.
Fucked up, but he would tell you the real.
Yeah, come on, Greg.
I think steroids are as American as Apple. Sit here and watch this and think that I'm the biggest jerk off or fluke or freak or whatever you want to call me, you know. I may not look appealing to you or anybody else, but that doesn't matter.
What is going on? How you guys doing? Listen, you know, I've been showing you guys my legs and all that other stuff, and, you know, I've been getting a lot of questions about, you know, how I train my legs. I did a leg video a long time ago. And, you know, that's, I think it was just before I had throat cancer, okay? So, you know, I was doing a bunch of sets, you know, and now I only do one set of legs, you know, of quads. And my legs are still jacked. And people think like, well, is it steroids, you know, what is he doing here? And it's not steroids because, you know, even since I took you know, I wasn't even taking, I've been on TRT a long time, okay? No more than 200 milligrams 10 cc's, 1 cc every 10 days, okay, which is 200 milligrams, 1 cc every 10 days, okay? So, and that's nothing, especially compared to what I used to do. So it's not about drugs, all right? And even when you saw me walking around and when I took my pants down in Alabama with Dave Palumbo when he was comparing me with Lee and all that stuff, and he gave me my legs props. You know, I hadn't been training at all. I only trained one time. Okay, now, so people are asking me, you know, about the legs. And I've been telling people all the time, I talk when me and Joe Zapata do a podcast, or when I've been, you know, doing other little shows on my own here. People always ask me about the legs, all right? That seems to be a very popular thing. And I tell people, most guys do not train their legs right. Okay, and I'm going to show you a little video here real fast. It's a quick one, and it's Tom Platz, okay? And he's basically saying what I've been telling you guys all along, all right? So let's watch it really fast, and then let me get back to you with the way I do things and how it's powerful.
It's hard. It's a separate sport in my mind. It's hard. I mean, it's going to take you, it's going to mess your nervous system up to the point to where you wonder why you wanted to go in the sport in the first place. It's hard. It's downright, it will annihilate you. It will take you so, it will show you that you're nothing but then you push through it, and you survive, and you deserve the leg you get from that. It's hard. It's hard to squat. Okay? And believe me, you know, people think I used to like to squat. I like the feeling afterwards of doing it, of the accomplishment. But so many times when I did 50 reps, at 25 I was done. At 35, I can't believe I did 35. At 45, God was doing it for me. At 50, I was just in a different world, you know? And that's what you gotta do. Your breath's gotta get hard. You can't talk. Everything's hurting. You can't breathe. You take the belt off and you have to almost fall on the floor. That's one set.
So there you go. That's Tom Platz, the king of legs, right? I mean, when you think of legs in bodybuilding, you think of Tom Platz. He's not saying that he does 6 reps or low reps. Tom Platz used to do 50 reps and a big, huge amount of reps like that because he wanted to burn his legs. He wasn't in there doing 1-reppers, 3-reppers, squatting to a bench, okay, half squats. You know, he didn't do that like that. He went all the way up, all the way down, nonstop, and he did high reps. He would take 315 and do it more than 50 times. I've been in the gym. I've seen him do it, okay? So there goes all your 6 reps and 8 reps and all that shit with ridiculous weight. He was taking weight and doing it for 50 reps, minimum. Now listen to me. Today, everybody's got big legs. You see all these guys in the Olympia, and they all have these giant thighs, okay? And I don't attribute it to, like, great leg training or any of that shit. I believe it's a lot of the babanya, and just, these guys are just so big now. I mean, everybody does, you know, if you're 200 pounds, you're like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you know, you had the great bodybuilders like Lee Labrada, you had Sean Ray, my boy Lee Priest, you know, Danny Padilla. You had all these guys, right, that were jacked, but they were all under 200 pounds, okay? Today, under 200 pounds, you're ready for the bikini class, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, when everybody's, you know, 250, 300 pounds in the off season, by the time they die down, they're going to have giant thighs, okay? It doesn't mean that they all know what they're doing, and it doesn't mean... Look, you got some guys that are genetically gifted. My son is a monster. My son's got like 20-inch calves, all right? He's got giant thighs. Doesn't do anything. He used to deadlift everything in the Army. His shoulders are huge. Has nothing to do with my genetics. Believe it or not, I think it comes from his mother's side, okay? So there are guys like my son who are naturally mooses, and the minute they start freaking just touching the weights or, you know, if they squat in a second, they're going to have giant thighs. But if you need giant thighs and your thighs aren't growing, more than likely, if you're one of these guys that are getting in the gym, all right? Tom Platz just proved my point, which I'm going to get to in a second. What I've told you guys before, if you're one of these guys that goes in the gym and you're, you know, doing 6 reps with this ridiculous heavy weight and you're squatting to a bench under your fucking fat ass, or, you know, you're doing other shit like that, you're not really training your legs the way they should be. If you notice, in that video, I tell you, wait, before I get to the video, let me explain to you what I always tell you guys lately. I only do 1 set. That's it for my quads. My quads are jacked. And I do that 1 set to extreme failure, to the point where I'm ready to barf, shit, fart, throw up, all of that, you know, like go crazy. It's that bad, okay? It's just ready to shit my pants when I'm doing it. And it, you know, and that's because I usually do close around 80 reps, okay? And I do it on the leg press. But I use a weight. I use 3 plates on each side, so that's 6 plates total. Now, I know some of you guys, that's pussy weight, right? Because you guys will fucking put 10 plates on each side and think you're doing something. You ain't doing shit. Because if I got you in the gym, you ain't going to be able to do 1 or 2 reps like that. Because I go all the way up, all the way down, right? Like this. All the way up, all the way down. And I don't rest and stop between reps. I don't go up, right? Down and up again and go... Then do the 7 rep and 2, 3 reps and stop again and go. I don't do that, bro. If you're doing that, that's rest pause. That's not training. That's not the way you're supposed to do it. You don't see Tom Platz doing that. I go steady, boom, 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 till I hit number 80. Now, sometimes I can only do 75. Sometimes I could do 80 when I was doing a lot. Okay, and before the cancer and when I was doing more sets, I was hitting 120 reps with that weight, okay? I was doing 3 plates on each side, and I've hit 120 reps. I cannot do that now. I don't weigh as much, and I just don't have it in me to do that. But the same method that Tom Platz uses, the same mindset, is exactly my mindset. For the first 30 reps... Tom says 25, but for the first 30 reps, that's all me, and it's burning, okay? By the time I get to 30, I'm like, oh my God, we're in it now. By the time I get to 40, 45, I'm like, please, God, let this set, just let it, please, get me through this. And that's what that's my mindset. And like Tom says, by the time he hits like 35, 40, God takes over. For me, God takes over about 45, 50. All right? I got another 30 reps to go. By the time I get to 80, I am almost, I'm in another world. I don't know I don't know how I'm doing it. Do you ever run and you're just running and you're like, you actually don't feel your legs anymore. They're just going. You feel like you're just standing and these legs are going like wheels, you know? And that's the way I feel. I get that same feeling. I feel like, how am I doing this? I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm doing this on just sheer, it's like I'm running away from a fucking lion, a pack of lions, or a giant grizzly bear or something. You know what I mean? I'm in that like fight or flight mode from about 50 reps on. 45, 50, depends. Some days I feel stronger, some days I just don't have it. But I usually try to get close, no less than 75 or 80, okay? Now, you maybe say, that's too high reps. No, it's not. No, it's not, because I'm using weight. I'm using weight. You, Mr. fucking who would do 8 plates on each side or whatever, you couldn't do even a little portion of that. You would never be able to do that because you don't go all the way up, all the way down. You stop, hold your legs, do that shit. I burn. I get those deep fibers that don't normally get fucking triggered. They're triggered. By the time I'm done, I can't stand up off the leg press. I cannot stand. That one set goes deep to the fibers where my bone is. You know what I mean? My thigh bone. Tom Platz says that's just one set. Okay? That's one. For him. One is all I need. But I'm 64 years old. Now, if I was your age, and if I was on the Babanya, I would do more than one. I usually would do probably about 4 of those. 4 or 5. Because that's what I used to do. Now, even if you're natural, it works. The method works. You have to do reps. Your legs are predominantly red fiber. Do you understand that? Read what red fiber is. It's a slow twitch fiber. It takes a long, it just can take a pounding, okay? You walk on your legs. If your legs were made of white, predominantly white fiber, you wouldn't be able to walk more than 10, 20 feet till you'd have to sit down. Your legs would get exhausted because that's fast twitch explosive fiber, okay? I'm just telling you. Capiche? So now, knowing that, I would take a weight that you guys, I would get you in the gym where you would stop at even 10 reps. I would get you 40 reps out of that. I wouldn't let you put the weight down. I'd fucking scream in your ear. I'd make sure that you keep going and going and going until by the time you're done, you'll cry. You'll be, I can't do it anymore, I can't. Which you would normally stop at 10, I would get 40 out of it. So I'd make you do 4 times what you normally would do. That's the way you have to do your legs. Like Tom Platz said, I hate doing it. I just love the results. Okay? Same thing. I tell everybody the same thing. I cry. I got to do one set. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Because this one set is so brutal. One set is just so brutal. I dread it. I could spend an hour in the gym and do 100 sets for another body part, but that one set's worse than 100 sets for another body. That's how bad that is. But the whole thing is where you would normally stop, you got to times that by 4. So whatever you're doing now, and you can't, if you're going to stop and do the like that shit, forget it. Forget it. If you're going to go up, down, all of a sudden stop, get your breath, get your breath, get your breath, get your breath, and then go again. That's rest, pause, brother. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. That's like a guy, a boxer, having a guy on a ropes and stepping back, going, okay, get your breath. You ready? Okay, let's go back. Forget it. There's no stopping. You have to continuous, constant tension, constant movement. That's the way Tom Platz does it. He does it with squats. I don't like squats. He has a naturally, like, a thicker waist, like, you know, the hips and stuff. I have narrow hips and bad. I'm not made for squatting. My son, forget about it. My son used to go in, when he was in the army, we're going deadlift and squat and bench press contests because he's built like a fucking, he was like that kid in school that you went to school, what you call moose. You know what I mean? That's what he is. Got the thick hands like fucking baseball gloves, thick wrists. Total opposite of me. Now, when it comes to leg curl, hamstrings, I've told you guys this. No rest. I do 5 seconds. The most would be 10 seconds, okay? Most would be 10 seconds. I'll do the leg curl, stop, 5 to 10 seconds, boom, 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 go again. My goal is to try to get 3 sets done in a minute. And I do them all up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Sometimes I contract to really squeeze them like this to feel, never stopping, none of that shit, okay? And I put the weight down in between. Sometimes, for me, it's usually I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and then go again. So my goal is to try to get 3 sets in a minute done. And I do 15 minutes, so it's 45 sets. I do 45 sets in 15 minutes time, and my hamstrings are jumping. I'm not saying that you have to do that, okay? But you got to do some serious sets for the hamstrings. You got to train it like they're their own entity. Everybody puts all this shit, squats, hack squats, lunges, all that stupid walking through the gym holding dumbbells and this shit and all that shit. They're doing all that shit. But then if they're going to do 5 sets on leg curl and shit or whatever, or some stupid deadlift shit, forget about that. I'm telling you, do my way and you'll fucking grow. Look, you have to be smart. I don't give a shit. The power lifters and all that stuff, you know, they're in there squatting, doing heavy weights and getting up and, but they got naturally thick thighs, and then they do not have thighs like a bodybuilder. They have thighs like a power lifter. Strip off all the fucking grizzle, and what do they got? You understand what I'm saying? It's not the same. I'm just telling you. Try my way. The Tom Platz thinking is the way to think. Okay? If you ever saw him do leg extension or leg curl, it's the same way. It's the same way. He goes till he can't do anymore, and he stops, and he only waits a quick few seconds, and then he goes again. And the burn, I get that burn, and I live for the burn. It hurts, okay? It hurts, but by the time I'm done, I can't do shit. I can't walk, and I knew I was in a workout. Capiche? This is my legs, 193 pounds, just before my surgery. TRT once every 10 days. Straighted ass. And this is my legs, right after the surgery, 170 pounds, no TRT, nothing. Look at that, Dave. You put me up last week, right after hours. Even since last week, they've gotten bigger. Look. Look. So there you go. That was my legs only training once since my surgery. Okay, one time. That was it. Okay, and then we went to Alabama. One time. And that's what my legs looked like. Now, I lost a lot of weight. That's why they were not as jacked, but they were pretty goddamn built. That's for a guy laying in a hospital, losing all that weight. I weighed on about 172 maybe. Okay? That's how much weight I lost. All right? And I still had legs, laying in a hospital with no friggin' thing. Then coming out, no TRT for months. It started on February 8th. That right there is like around July 1st. No TRT. So there you go. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to, tell you, it works. All right, and I'm a 64-year-old man. I am not on steroids. I do take testosterone. There's no Tren, there's no Debo, the only thing I take is TRT with a doctor, 1 cc, 200 milligrams every 10 days. That's it. It doesn't do shit for my build. The only thing it does is it replaces the testosterone that I am, missing, because I took a lot of shit, when I was doing, when I was on the Babanya, I was taking so much stuff, I shut my body down, and at 64 years old, I have the testosterone of a 12-year-old girl, without it, okay? And actually, when I'm in the hospital, not training, and not taking testosterone, couldn't take any testosterone for months, okay? No TRT, nothing for months, because I had to have surgeries, I had 2 surgeries, the whole bit. I didn't shrink a lot. I did lose weight from not eating food, but I was still jacked and everything. It doesn't, the testosterone for me, when you're on TRT, and if you are really low, if you really need it, and you got nothing without it, you know what I'm saying, which, hello, you know, aside from my age, you know, the thing, and my past abuse, okay, and I'm not putting steroids down, I love them. I had a love affair with them. It's like my ex-girlfriend, you know, that I still love. You know, I love Miss Babanya. But the thing is, I can't do that. I'm too old, and I don't want to fucking be one of these guys, you know, on the internet that you read about. So, you know, for me, the testosterone helps with the pichot legat, you know what I mean? Helps with the brain, helps me feel better. And it just, you know, but I'm not like, oh my God, look at the size of me from taking that stuff. I don't really notice much size-wise at all. The joints don't hurt as nearly as much. It just, it increases the feeling of well-being for me. So put that aside. The leg workout is still its own entity. And a lot of you guys that cannot build legs or having trouble building legs, obviously you got to eat, you know, you got to supply the nutrients and the building blocks to put muscle there. But you also got to stimulate muscle. And the way to do that is by getting the deep, deep fibers. Not that 6-rep floating up the bar, blah, that stuff. No. That looks good in videos, and those guys are so friggin', you know, juiced up. You understand what I'm saying? But when they go off, I'm sorry, Pee Wee Herman, you know what I mean? You could put fucking fishnets on some of their legs. You're like, dude, what happened to that guy? He had these giant thighs and that like that. Because it's all babanya. All right? So, forget it. So, let's take the juice out of the equation. That's why I'm telling you all this stuff. Take the juice out of the equation. Take the babanya, put it somewhere else. I'm talking about the way to train the legs. You walk on your legs. Your legs are used to walking, to working, they're involved in everything. Sitting on a toilet, you know, getting up out of bed, walking to the dinner table, you know, push yourself away in a chair. Your legs are used to everything, okay? So you have to train the legs. They need to be trained. Same thing with the calves, bro. All these guys are putting, like, you know, every plate in the gym, and they're standing on calf raises, and they're barely even moving. They're doing this little thing. That's not going to do calf. I'll get me to get you in the gym, and I'll make that guy that's in the gym thinks he knows everything and tell you that's bullshit. I'll make him cry, because he won't be able to do it. I'll make him put one fucking plate on there, and he won't be able to do it right. I'll put such fire in those calves. I'll fucking crack the whip, put such fire in there, you won't believe. Forget about all that. Make the muscle do the work. Work the deep fibers, not the superficial fibers, the ones down by the bone, bro. Okay? Make that muscle. You just got to keep working it so it gets so friggin', or every fiber in the thigh works. That's how you train the legs. All right? If you're natty, try it. It's still going to work. It's not a juice guy thing. It's not, you know, again, these guys are all friggin' babanya'd out. You know, they could do nothing. They could sit there and go like this, and they, you know, just grew an inch on their thigh, okay? But when they go off, I'm sorry, Pee Wee Herman, baby, okay? I love you guys, man. I got more shit coming. If you like it, subscribe, like and subscribe. You know, all that bullshit. All right? You bunch of momos, but I love you. I love all you momos. But stop fucking around. Do the right thing. Do it also if you're... Do the right thing by your mate, okay? If, doesn't matter, whatever your spin is. Okay? Be good to your girl. Be good to your wife. Be good to your significant other. Pay your child support. Don't be a fucking bum. I hate that. All right? I did when I was in jail. So, God bless you. I'll see you guys in the next video.
And that's a wrap. That's a wrap.